everyone. Welcome to Melissa's Musings. I got Boots over here chilling, being like super lazy as usual. And I'm coming to you from my bedroom today. So this may, forewarning, this may get emotional. I also very much, so I've been struggling a little bit with Melissa's Musings because I feel like my commitment to Melissa's Musings and my commitment to my audience and this space is to be 100% transparent, like all the way. And where I feel like I have not been present in Musings has been showing up for me because I haven't been 100% honest with my audience. Hi Nance, thanks for watching. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I see a bunch of you joining in. Yay. We're about to get real honest and vulnerable. And, us as individuals, you guys know my commitment to Melissa's Musing. It's that to live in my truth, to be committed to the fact that things aren't always peachy keen. Like we don't live in this dream bubble via social media that so many of us kind of experience our friends and family through. You know what I mean? We have this weird interpretation of the way that they live their life through a social media space. And then oftentimes when we find out that they aren't 100% fantastic, we're like, oh my God, I had no idea. And it shows how present we are. And so in the spirit of that, what I've been really struggling with in the space of Melissa's Musings is that a lot of the topics that I've been feeling called to talk about bring up a lot for me, to the point where I'm almost like questioning, okay, do I block certain people from watching this video because I don't want them to hurt? Like, I don't want to hurt them or have them worry about me, you know what I mean, unnecessarily. So that's been really holding me back. And it's been creating some major gaps for me around my message and what I'm committed to and being 100% honest with you guys. So if I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, it's to let you know that I have not been feeling 100% well. I feel like I've been struggling a little bit with my health. And my health is a big struggle for me. So for those of you that don't know, I've had about a 5-year or so journey now with what a lot of people refer to as like invisible illness. And there's a lot of invisible illnesses out there, a lot of causes of pain, but some are gut issues, some are things like SIBO or candida, some are things like fibromyalgia or anxiety or depression. So invisible illness is illness that affects you on the inside and it appears on the outside like you're healthy. So at times where I've been my sickest, I've like had the desire and the wish for, I just wish it was something that like people recognized. And it's really wrong and sad, but like I've almost wished at times where I've been in my most painful that it's something like cancer, so people just get it, like so that when I'm going through a really bad day and having a lot of pain, instead of saying something that people don't understand, I've always wished like, oh, something that like people would understand and then be able to like move on with their day instead of being like, oh, what's that? And like being really uncomfortable around it. So that's a major thing that's come up for me a lot in my sickness. It's the fact that like for me, it's invisible. So even though I look totally normal and can go about my day and can usually not let it impact my day, at times, especially when I'm going through like an episode or a relapse, my pain is so difficult to deal with that at times I've wished for it to be something recognizable. So invisible illness, one, is something that is really difficult for people to understand and therefore for people to have, because it's really difficult to connect with others and have them understand what you're going through, have some kind of definition. Because when we associate, for example, when somebody comes up to us and tells us, I'm struggling, I'm going through cancer, or I'm going through chemotherapy, we immediately can reference that with typically somebody we know who's been through something like that. We can reference like the pain that somebody we know has been through, and we immediately can sympathize and like it resonates with us, right? We understand. Invisible illness is really difficult because not a lot of people understand what it's like to have an invisible illness. So something that I've been struggling with lately is that I haven't been feeling 100% myself, and therefore I haven't been wanting to I haven't had as much energy or as much gusto and fervor for things that I have going on. And it's a space that I really struggle with, to be honest, because it's a space that I get to constantly be in a mindset shift around and constantly be shifting out of a victim conversation. So for me, when I'm not feeling well, it is so easy to slip right into the conversation around, like, why me? Why am I a 29-year-old that's dealt with this for 5 years when I know so many other 29-year-olds who don't? You know what I mean? And so it's so easy to be in that victim conversation. So instead, the opportunity that is here for me is the constant shift. So constantly shifting into what's possible and out of that victim conversation. So instead of being in a why me conversation, it's it's instead okay, like, I'm experiencing feelings of this today, and what is the lesson that I get to learn? Is it going to be that I get to, make it through my appointments today while also dealing with pain? Is it that I get to prioritize myself and reschedule the things that I have on my plate? So whatever it is on that certain day, that's really what I get to embrace. And it's just been a struggle for me, because in the space of, like, honesty that I'm trying to create here with Melissa's Musings, one of the things that I really struggle with is being 100% honest in a space, like, in this capacity, because, for example, I know that when my yaya, my grandma, watches this, she's probably going to be crying. And my intention is not to upset her. But what I'm really struggling with is, like, being honest in this space and being honest with the people around me and standing in my truth without, you know what I mean, without my intention being to hurt others around me. So for those of you who are watching that really love me and that are very close to me, I want you to understand that this message is not one that is coming from, like, a place of desperation. It is simply a sharing of where I'm currently at and the lessons that I'm learning. And I love you so much for caring so much about me and for feeling my pain along with me. But know that, like, the intention of this video is to simply be honest. So for Mom, Yaya, my aunts that are going to be watching and calling me later, know that this is, I'm creating the space to talk about this. I am not in my most desperate and sad moment. So I love you guys. But in that message, because I know that I'm going to get concern later from my friends and family, I really have just felt the need to, be upfront. Because I want to take the space to acknowledge the people around me who are, like, constant stands of strength and who offer me a ton of coaching all the time. I have some amazing coaches in my life, and I want to especially acknowledge John, because not only is John a rock star in the fact that we share life and business together, he is a rock star that gets to deal with a sick person. And I want to really, like, the intention of this video too is to take a special moment to acknowledge everybody in my life who gets to deal and be in a relationship with a sick person. Because it's one thing to be sick, it's one thing to have health issues and to be in constant, in constant practice of, like, okay, I get to bring my provisions, I get to prepare myself for this. But it's another thing to really take that level of responsibility for somebody that's not yourself. And so I want to take a moment to acknowledge John and my family and a lot of other people I know in my life who are that significant other, because I have a lot of sick people in my life who have connected with me because my story resonates with them. And I know a lot of their spouses and their significant others. And there is a special hero in the person that deals with pain and that deals with sickness, but there is a angel of a hero in the person that supports the person with sickness. Because I don't think I could do what John does every day. To, like, so genuinely and authentically, unconditionally love me, despite the fact that I have my issues. Plus, like, doing that without any expectation, without any need to. Like, John isn't obligated to do those things. The significant others that I see who support the sick people in their life are not obligated by any means. Those of us who are sick are obligated, of course, to deal with our issues. But those of us that we have in our life who aren't, it is such an enormous gift to have them in our life. So for those of you who support people around you who are going through pain, or who know people who are going through pain, I want to acknowledge and thank you for the support that you give, because it's really massive and it really means a lot. And so I can see a lot of you are tuning in here and giving me some feedback, so I'm going to be present to you guys now. Thank you guys so much for all the love. I totally feel and appreciate it. Like, I can 100% feel it. Nance, it's like drinking vomit. Jesus. It is like that. Mary, I absolutely understand what you're talking about. Anytime you need to talk, you can always call me. Love you, girl. Same here. All the time. Always. And so, to not end this on a negative note, I really want to reflect on some of the positivity that's been coming up for me in these last few months as I've been feeling more sick. I have not wanted to go through the same treatment that I've been through now 3 times. So I'm really exploring the other options that I have available to me. I'm doing a lot of research. I'm calling some new doctors. I'm really exploring new opportunities for myself. So lots of learning is happening. I'm also getting really reconnected to the Beat SIBO space and the audience that I have there, and the audience and the group that really relies on me for inspiration and community and information in like the gut space. So really being present to them. And then also, like, one of the massive things that I've been learning is, like, truly for so many years, the feedback to me has been that I get to really give of my overflow and not at my expense, because I am typically a go like, get it all done despite everything else type of individual. And what I've been really learning that's available for me is balance. So it has been really beautiful for me to be able to crush the business space, crush the fun space, crush a lot of different aspects of my life, plus rest, plus 10 hours of sleep at night. And so it's creating the both ends in my life of what do I get to do on my day-to-day, for example, like in taking care of my clients and taking care of business, and what do I get to do to take care of myself. So that's been really amazing. And one of the things that I've really been also making huge progress on, not only is my like victim conversation, the why me conversation, instead of being in that space, being able to shift out of it. One of the other things that I've really been aligning myself with is, for so long I've had this like conversation around, I could do so much more if only my body was to let me, you know, like, I wish that I could do this, but I can't because of my body, or like I would take on 10 more things, but I can't because of me, you know, and it would be always like an excuse, something that was really holding me back. And so what the shift has been for me lately is like what's possible with my body. Instead of focusing on like the things that I can't do, not having enough energy for something, or not being able to fit something onto my plate, or having like the FOMO, the fear of missing out when I don't get to do fun things. Instead of like having the I'm not able to mentality, I've really been focusing on like what am I able to do? And that has been such a massive shift for me, because yes, some days I don't have the energy to do the last like 5 things that I wanted to do, you know, before my day finishes. But instead of being in that space, what I'm so easily able to shift into now is like, you can't do that. And what you can do right now is this. You can go make yourself food. You can rest. You can take yourself for a walk. You can, because there's so many people in this world who can't. There's so many other people in this world who are in a much worse position than I am. So for me, what's been really powerful is recognizing like what's been available to me. And that was something that I was able to do through my strictest of cleansing. Instead of focusing on the really limited foods, or instead of focusing on all of the foods that I was not able to have, instead of being like, oh, well, screw it, I can't have french fries, I can't have bread, I can't have sugar, I can't have this, I would really focus on what I was able to have. I can have amazing vegetables. I can have lemons and limes. I can have stevia. And so like that shift was major for me too. So I know I just like threw a lot at you guys. The intention of this video was kind of a complex one. I kind of just wanted to clear the space. I was feeling like for a while I've been carrying around this burden of not really wanting to do a musing, or feeling conflicted because I haven't wanted to like be 100% honest over the fear of hurting people in my life. And so where I'm at right now is that my family and the people who are closest to me get to be aware of where I'm at too. And yeah, I get to keep plugging along, and I get to figure out what's next for my health. And it's a journey every day. So what's been coming up for me is that lately I don't really know what my symptoms are going to be when I wake up in the morning. Some days are really great, and I wake up like super gung-ho and then have energy to get through my day. And then some days I'm waking up and it's 7 a.m. and I'm ready for bed. So I am super grateful that I have amazing supports in my life like John and the team that we have on Team Steele, the freaking rock stars that we've surrounded ourselves with, and all of you guys watching out there, loving on me. So I love each and every one of you. For those of you who are out there who are also suffering from pain, I feel you and I see you. And for those of you who are suffering from invisible illness, like, I feel you and I get it. So if that's something that you're struggling with, we get to connect on that and we get to talk about it. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Boots, you want to say bye? He's the best. He's the best ever. Lately, I think he knows that I'm so I feel like he's been extra snuggly, and I think it's either because he knows I'm not feeling well or because I switched his food recently to like a really yummy gravy laden chicken dinner that's his new favorite. So part of me isn't sure if he's just being super supportive because he can sense that I'm not feeling well, or if he's just staying like in my sphere at all times in the off chance that I'm going to give him more chicken and gravy. I think it might be a combination of the both, but he's the man. So, love you guys. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. I'm having a fantastic Wednesday. And just know that this message is not one of desperation or disappointment in myself. It's one of really recognizing the strength within myself, one that recognizes the journey that I get to embark again on and figure out what's going on with me, and also one to express gratitude to my body, to really, I'm so in tune with my body now that I know like the second something's off. So that's a huge gift too. It's been a 5-year journey to reach that point. So I love you guys. I will talk to you soon.